Hello, hello. I'm back. So this is what I want to talk about today. I have an interview today about video and I want to think about this. Okay, so first, outfit. I'm not going to maybe I will this same thing. Just black. Black, I don't want to think. So I'm just going to go casual. This black thing. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it because like I want to cause a good impression or something like that, right? But I also don't want to overthink it. And also it's like irrelevant to day-to-day life, right? So I want to be, I guess, presentable or something like that, but also, yeah, not give, like I don't want to wear a suit or something like that, right? I don't know. I was thinking it because I want to cause a good impression, right? I want to cause a good impression. Yo, hello. I am thinking I have the interview tonight. Or interview, it's a call, but I have the call tonight. So I wanted to think about that instead of thinking about driving licenses, and tomorrow I will think about driving licenses. But for the moment, yeah, today I will think about this interview thing, and I don't think it will take a lot of time. I don't have a lot of to think about it. It's just, but I want to at least go over it, and yeah, I have this hour and a half, about an hour and a half or something, to think about it. So I will at least take a chunk of that. Then, yeah, I don't know. I thought of the outfit, like what do I want to wear? Because I don't know. I was walking and then I thought, maybe this is something I should think about, right? Maybe it's something since it's on video, since it's a video call or whatever. I don't know, something to give a good impression. But I don't know. Then I thought, like, what difference does it make? Like, I'm not going to wear a shirt or like I don't know. I don't think I need to because it's not like a company, and even if it were a company, right? I don't like I don't want to overthink it. I'm not going to wear pajamas, right? So I wanted to be mindful, and I didn't want to like wear a pajama. So I'm not going to wear that, right? So basically, not a pajama, but that's it, right? I don't think like even sport clothes is all right in my opinion, right? Like I am in my house, right? That is a thing. So and I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It's also not, I don't want to contort myself, right? So I want to wear something that I would wear. And for example, this is something I was wearing today, so I will wear this. Right? I don't want to overthink it. So yeah, basically this blank with breaker. It's plain, right? It's not well. It has the Puma logo here. It's kind of shiny, but it's not flashy. It's not something like that. And yeah, I think it's good enough. Right? If not, maybe another black thing. Right? If not, maybe another black thing. Because, for example, right now under that I'm wearing this red, like way brighter shirt, and I don't know. That feels showy in a sense. Right? I don't know. I also wear these kind of things sometimes, but plus also this is going in the washer tonight. So, and something not green. I want to wear something that is not green because of the green screen. So in that sense, the red thing is kind of good because it's bright and it looks like you are wearing a rain jacket indoors. It kind of is a rain jacket. I mean, it's not a rain jacket. It's a windbreaker, so it is outdoorsy. But yeah, so maybe I will wear something more indoorsy. I think black is a good idea, but the jacket is not. I think. Well, maybe I will wear something else then. Just something plain, a plain black jacket or something like that. I'll probably wear something like this. Okay, outfit thing done. Probably the other black thing. I'm yawning too much. I've also noticed this. I don't want to yawn. But I also don't want to drink something caffeinated or something. We'll see. Then, things she may want to know. I was thinking, what would she want to know, right? And yeah, I wanted to check back on what I uploaded. To see. Vamos a tener vídeos. This one. Let's check it out. Let's see what I say. 10 minutes. Well, I have to watch it. Boom. Hello Z, my name is Juan, and this is my application for the open position for video editing that you mentioned in your New Year's stream. So I'm going to play the clip with that position. See, in the application itself, I also wear this blue thing, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's not even...
Ground up to the most meta, to the embodiment, to agency, to all of it. I've got about 35 hours of stuff. So if there's an editor out there, I'm seeking your help. I have an editor right now, but they're focused on a certain aspect of it. But I just need more help.
Okay, yeah, she asks pretty straightforward that she literally says something like, if you are an editor or whatever, boom. And she says 35 hours. So that is the expectation that I have, right?
Editing, because I don't have all the time in the world to sort through this stuff and carve it in a way that's like useful for people, that's not just so long and expensive. So if anyone's out there, feel free to shoot me a line at support@trans.
Okay, so she says this in a way that's useful for people. Okay, I think it says 35 hours of content. So $35 hours of stuff to sort through and carve it in to sort through and carve it in a way that's useful for people that's not just long and expansive. Well, let's
stuff and
continue.
carve it in a way that's like useful for people that's not just so long and expensive. So if anyone's out there, feel free to shoot me a line at support@transvoicelessons.com. I'll continue to have my editor and
Yeah, so this is the position that I am applying for, and now I'm going to talk about the reasons why I personally am applying. So I think that I really find your teaching style and teaching philosophy good, and like, for example, the beginning of this whole stream was very good. I wrote a comment about it here. I know it's not a perfect comment. I will go more about this in later. But yeah, in this comment, I think that I do share my enthusiasm over your way of explaining things, and I think that yeah, you have a nice way of teaching people things, and I would like to help by editing the videos of this backlog that you mentioned that you have. Another example is your practice video, this how to master anything video 7 guidelines of practice. I found this video very good like, around 2 years ago, I think. And yeah, in this video, I've seen some decent feedback that I would like to help make reality. I think I have things here. Yeah, for example, this comment you used. Yeah. Then I point to other comments as a way to say that. Okay, vale. So, useful part, right? Useful. I point to comments that I found interesting, useful connection, right? So this is kind of, I guess, the value proposition, right? I am saying something like, I read through the comments, I more or less can sense what people think is valuable, right? Yourself like had an idea of getting a look behind the scenes at the research planning process, etc. And I think having this extra help would be useful for you to keep teaching stuff, and also kind of these new ways in you can kind of indirectly teach stuff, right? Then I see more feedback that even if you haven't liked that, I see that it's interesting, right? Maybe this is a small example, but I've seen several comments like that you could group and maybe make another video like this based on all of this feedback that could be useful for people, right? Yeah, so this is basically saying there is a footage that I can look at, plus I can guess what's useful. Then yeah, in this video you mentioned that you need to sort through the stuff and carve it in a way that's useful for people. That's not long and expansive, and I think I can help with that because I do like watching videos, and I think reviewing footage is a big part of this problem. Right? You have a lot of backlog of footage, and you need someone for it to watch it and cut through it. Right? And I think that I have proof of this in my own videos. For example, this is a video of mine that I just make videos, random videos that I find interesting. And lately, I've been making them too long-winded, so maybe that's not a great signal. But I do like to watch afterwards. I do watch my own videos and I timestamp the places so I can have like more access to information when I want. Right? I have yes, I give pretty honest reasons here. Some of the things that I mentioned in the video, so that when I want to come back to it later, I have access to them. And I think this is an example of my liking of structuring stuff. And I think that I could be helpful to help you like structure all of this backlog, for example, in this stream, these things, right? And then clip it and maybe put it on other channels and that stuff, right? Because for example, in your channel, I've seen kind of the thumbnails and the titles that you're using lately, and I think that you are kind of trying to play that game, a little bit, right? The YouTube game of getting more views, and I think I want to help with that as well. Right? Plus, I also think I can do it. I think that my skill set matches the intention, and I have a little bit of an editing reel here that I have linked. And yeah, there are basically short clips. I think they show more or less my editing skills in the sense that I can put the information visually. For example, using emojis to represent stuff, concepts. Yeah, and I can do some heavier editing. Like this video, the first video that I show is personal. This one is for a client, and yeah, this has kind of some intense tracking in some parts of the video. Right here, I had to track all of the version and then untrack it, fade the tracking out. And then I've done also some podcast type of clipping. This one is from a MrBeast podcast that I found interesting. I just did it, I guess, on my own. I'm not a MrBeast or anything like that. But yeah, it got 500,000 views, which I thought meant something, right? It is something like, oh, so people are interested in the part of this that I clipped, right? And then I've also made a podcast myself, a podcast episode, so I can edit this long form stuff. Then the next aspect of it is, why do I feel resistance to applying for the job? And now it's when we go back to the comment that I made. Lol, I forgot that because I wrote that comment on this video, and I've seen that the comment is how old, 6 days old, and I've seen newer comments getting likes and a way in which I express myself. Right? I don't regret the comment on it. Of mention in that stream you mentioned about isness and about being and how that one can change, and obviously I can change and all of this stuff. But yeah, if you don't like my current state of being and don't see possibility, and okay, that's communicating. Then the next thing is that even if I do like editing video, I do have some friction towards doing it because my PC is kind of slow. So yeah. Okay. That's kind of a minor concern. And then the other thing is that I don't really have a lot to show for it. I don't have a super huge portfolio. I think this is pretty representative of what I can do. And I think I think it shows that I can do what I claim I can do, but maybe you are looking for someone with a lot more experience, I don't know, and maybe you with a lot of captioning work, you like the vertical thing or want to go heavier into that, and then maybe you would like someone who has that process really streamlined, for example. Okay, my online presence thing, that I have this online presence or whatever. Then, but like, hope. Okay, yeah, I think I was pretty honest here. Okay, I'm going to copy my thing. The application was like this. Then things I want to know. CC, I don't know what CC is. Okay, yeah, so I think useful. Sort through. Control B, Control E. Yeah, so I cover the sort through part through on my own videos, right? So that I like it. That I timestamp my own video, so I then the useful for people, tal, and my Mr. Beast video, and then carve it. Carve it. I like your stuff. Then, which means that I can sort through it, like that that it's something enjoyable. Value aligned, whatever, right? Then my own videos. And then, for example, things she actually may want to know, because this is things she already knows, I guess. Already knows. Then things she may want to know. Things I don't know what she may want to know. She may want to know because I already say it here, right? I already say everything relevant, right? So my experience in general, right? My experience outside of it. I don't know. Sometimes it helps, right? It can be. Well, I'm not. You're not seeing what I'm writing, but yeah, this is what I'm writing. My experience outside of it. Maybe it's interesting for her. I don't know, but I'm putting questions, right? This is to prepare myself to what to expect, right? What can I expect that I'm going to get asked? Fuck it, let's ask ChatGPT. Chat. Why did you decide to apply? Maybe. why did you decide to apply? Interesting question, I guess, right? I think, does it not show here? New Year's stream. So I'm going to play the clip with that position.
Ground up.
Hello Z, my name is Juan, and this is my application for the open position for video editing that you mentioned in your New Year's stream. So I'm going to play the clip with that position.
Ground up to the most meta, to the embodiment, to agency, to all of it. I've got about 35 hours of stuff. So if there's an editor out there, I'm seeking your help. I have an editor right now, but they're focused on a certain aspect of it. But I just need more help editing because I don't have all the time in the world to sort through this stuff and carve it in a way that's like useful for people that's not just so long and expensive. So if anyone's out there, feel free to shoot me a line at support@transvoicelessons.com. I'll continue to have my editor and
Yeah, so this is the position that I am applying for, and now I'm going to talk about the reasons why I personally am applying. So I think that I really find your teaching style and teaching philosophy good and expert. See, I mean, these, right? These are like the reasons why I'm applying. I guess, right? All of those, all these things, like what I. I don't know, probably, but I only have experience with this type in person, and I was asked why I applied and if I knew what they were producing. Okay, yeah, that's interesting, right? Yeah, that's an interesting angle. Yeah, because when you apply regularly, like people, yeah, like maybe the company doesn't. Yeah, it's like you see some position that is like software engineer, right? And they are like a supermarket or something, right? And you are like doing software for supermarkets, and they maybe don't know that you are doing software. Yeah, interesting, right? But yeah, I think I know what she's doing. Like I know what she's doing. She's doing like does like her main channel, but I wouldn't be doing the main channel thing, I assume. Right? Her main channel is about like teaching voice feminization or voice modulation, right? Like teaching voice lessons, basically. Focused on trans people, right? Mostly feminization. But the thing that she needs help with is related to all of the things that come like downstream with that, right? Okay, yeah, that's a good prompt, actually. I liked. Thank you for your help. Yeah, so it's like she wants help with, because to get at her point, she has like this whole, like the whole stream is like 4 hours. So she talks like pretty in depth about that, right? Or not sure if in depth, but yeah, mentioning a lot of things. But yeah, it's basically that when teaching about how to learn something that is embodied, like you have to, like you know about embodiment, you know about teaching, you know about learning, like about learning in general, you know about. She knows a lot about music, right? So she has also a lot of knowledge on music, this kind of thing, right? So it's like what I would be doing is related to all of those things. She also talks about like just metaphysics in general, right? Like how to achieve truth, for example, right? Or like that's basically almost that's like philosophy, right? Like what is real, what is like that's essentially philosophical questions, exactly, right? And it's like I like that part also. Right? That is what I think she needs help with that, and I like that. Right? I mean, I like the other thing as well, right? The voice feminization thing, but like she has, I think that the editor that she already has is already the person who does that thing. Right? I assume that's my assumption. And she needs someone to sort through all the other stuff. Right? And yeah, the reason that I particularly found that interesting was, I think I mentioned it there, but for example, now I'm going to talk about the reasons why I personally am applying. So I think that I really find your teaching style and teaching philosophy good. And like, for example, the beginning of this whole stream was very good. I wrote a comment about it here. Yeah, the comment goes into it, right? I think that's why I didn't say it, because I knew she had read the comment. Well, I actually didn't. When I sent the application, I didn't know she had read it, but I now know that she has read it, right? So I know that she at least understands like where I'm coming from. Like that is a shared understanding. But yeah, that's just in case there is. I like the way she talks about practice and how she joins a lot of these different concepts together, right? How she talks about music and how she talks about philosophy and how she talks about teaching and learning, right? And practicing and all of these things, right? Because after all, it is kind of life, right? What is life if not that? And I think it was interesting. But yeah, good prompt. And I did watch the whole thing. But I didn't comment on the latter parts because like a chunk in the middle was like playing music live, and I also watched it while walking. So I didn't take notes or anything. And she was not redundantly, but she was kind of talking about the same thing. So I guess these things also apply to the part after that. But yeah, I loved her. I liked her energy there, right? That was a big part of it. I like her energy. Yeah, the energy, the passion, Visa talks a lot about it, right? This coming alive thing. Coming alive Visa camp. Let's see what pulls up with them. Yeah, this fire in the eyes of a person who has come alive. Something like that, right? These kind of sentences. People who have come alive. Whose hearts are singing, eyes are shining. That, right? I like that. It's like you can see that when she talks about this, right? When she talks about teaching and it's like, I like that part and also the thing itself, right? I like the thing itself as well. I like music. I don't know a lot about music, but I like it. And I know something. I do know something. Like I know some things at least, right? I know what a chord is. Sorry. I know what these things are, right? I know a major scale, what kind of, not a lot, and I forget, but I more or less know what, like, I can make the major mode versus the minor mode, tonic, subtonic, dominant, subdominant, those things, right? I don't know the terms in English a lot. Tónica, subtónica, dominante, subdominante, la de en medio se llama mediana. I like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, and grade 8 is again like the octave, so the tonic again. I know what a semitone is with these things. And she, for example, knows a lot about, like things that I don't even know about. She knows a lot about harmonics and of these things. And I rarely know about harmonics. And she knows a lot about microtonal things. And I don't know anything about microtonality. But I like how it sounds. Right? When she plays it, I find it interesting. Right? When you play an intro on her videos or whatever, you can tell by how it sounds. It's interesting, right? You can tell there's something a little bit different, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not in this one, but in general, you can I don't know. There's kind of a sense that it sounds interesting, right? I don't know. I like that. But yeah. So, Visa Camp coming alive. This, I don't know. Yeah, this is, I guess, if you are asking, like, do you know what we are making and blah blah blah, why did you decide to apply? That is asking selfishly, right? It's more like, I mean, it would be strange to expect some kind of selfless answer out of this, right? Why did you decide to apply? And you are like, because I feel so full of help to others or something, right? If you are like something like that, right? I don't know. At least I don't believe it, right? Well, it's not that I don't believe it, but it's like, I mean, is that the main reason, right? Like, the main reason is that I found coming alive into people that come alive good, and I want to be close, right? Because I believe that being close to them is good for me, right? Is the opposite true? Like, is me being close to you good for you? That's what you are here for, right? I guess, right? That is what your questions should answer for yourself. But I'm not, like, I don't know. I mean, I can do my best to try to tell you why, right? I guess that's my purpose, you would say, right? My purpose is now to convince you that that is true. I'm not a good convincer, but I will try, right? Yeah, and then yes, according to the useful, so yeah, I will put some music knowledge, right? Some music knowledge, but particularly, right? Particularly, also music communication, right? I don't know, I'm interested in that, right? The other person that I applied, that I talked about here about it, that reject me twice, like, that person is also a music channel, right? And it's like, that is something I gravitate to, right? That is an interest. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to frame these things in a not selfish manner, right? I guess that's my problem. I can't frame, I know something about this, therefore I can be better than someone who does not know it. I don't know. Well, actually, that's pretty fair, right? That is pretty that is pretty much it, right? I know some, so it's better than someone who doesn't. The problem is, like, if you compare me to someone who does know it, I don't know. I think that, yeah, I actually think, like, that is a value, right? Yeah, I think that's a good value proposition, right? Because if you actually know it, like she does, right? Then she's more, like, she's, because of that, more oriented to the thing itself, while I am more oriented to the making videos about the thing, right? I would say something like this, right? I don't know. I'm not that eloquent, sadly, but like, unselfishly, not selfishly, that's the reason I think it makes sense, right? Why would you get, like, I don't know, it's like, if you could get someone who is actually a pro at fucking music or whatever the fuck, right? Or a pro at philosophy or blah, blah, blah. If you can get someone who is a pro at all of those, and get them to work for you, it's like, fuck it, let's go, right? The problem is like, is that going to happen, right? It's like probably not, because they are probably doing like their own, being the pro at the thing, right? That is the cost, I guess, right? One would assume. That's my intuition, right? Maybe it's a wrong intuition, and like she, for example, is making the video, but she's also hiring to make the video. Right? So I don't know, that's kind of my internal logic. Okay, now to the things that I want to know. The things that I want to know. So, for example, I don't know what CC is. I'm not sure why I wrote that. Communication. Oh, and yeah, and I guess pricing, right? These kind of things. Pricing, availability, right? Availability. Something like this, right? Things I want to know. Yeah, time commitment. 35 hours, right? I'm not sure if per week or whatever. I know that there are 35 hours of footage, right? And I don't know, I think that to sort through 35 hours of footage, I would say, like, what's my estimation? It takes more than the actual hours of footage, I would say. Even if you do it at twice the speed. That's my experience, right? I don't know. Oh, and you're pricing, right? Holy shit. Okay, so I answered myself the question about the team. Jesus Christ. All these fucking people have like PhDs and master degrees in like voice or whatever, in music. Holy fuck. I definitely don't. I'm a mechanical engineer. I know a little bit about frequency, I guess. I know what frequency is. I kind of play the guitar a little bit. I mean, I don't have any masters, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at the website to see like how much. At least you Googled before you asked. Yep, that's actually why I wanted to go over this on live stream, because I knew there would be something easily Googleable that I would have forgotten to do. But so yeah, just in case.
I'm going to do an overview of listening for strain in your voice so that you can determine and recognize if you are strained or not. Okay, so we're basically going to describe two different ranges of
Mechanical keyboard.
qualities, although of course there's. So we're basically going to describe two different ranges
I can't identify switches, but those are like the clicky ones at least, right?
of qualities, although of course in this space that we might qualities
Which ones are the clicky ones? Cherry blues or something? Cherry blues are clicky. Cherry red. The browns are silent, if I recall correctly.
that we'll discuss will be like adequately relaxed for a given pitch versus too tight for a given.
I know she also has like her own Patreon. And I would assume that's where she is. She would be posting the things, right? Here. Maybe not. Yeah. See, for example, these things, like this. This is way over my head, right? Overtone, harmony, like premodality, perception, and all of these things. This is pretty over my head. But for example, this one, like for example, maybe I could like edit this one, like help edit these kind of things, right? Well, I mean, she did this herself, right? But maybe I could like cut this or like help overlay things, right? I don't know. Yeah, also I'm trying to get a sense of the numbers, right? So 200 times what? 10, 2000. And here, like 1500 times what? 10, 15,000. Like 1500 times 5, 7500. So it's like what? Combined 10, around 10 grand per month income. She already has 2 editors. I don't know, like I don't. She also does private things, and her private things are like much more expensive. Right? Like the private things are much more on this on this side. I even think like the actual private ones are like this per hour or something kind of thing. Like they are pretty pricey. I don't know. Like I've seen the numbers, right? So I know, like when if she tells me something, I'm gonna believe her, right? I don't know. If she tells me I don't have a book budget, I'm gonna be like, okay, I believe you. I don't know. See, for example, I don't have any clue what this is, right?
Hello, and welcome to 31 Notes, the series where I talk about my thoughts on 31 equal divisions of an octave. Today we are going to be learning the basic triads in 31 equal. Now, if you're already familiar with 12-note equal temperament, you'll know that there are a few basic triads: the major chord, the minor chord, the augmented chord, the diminished chord, and possibly the sus chord if you want to count it. Obviously, there's other 3-note sets, but those are the basic structural triads. Now, when we're looking at 31 equal, we actually have a different set of basic structural triads. So we have a sus chord, which is familiar to us. We have a major chord. We have a minor chord, just like we expect in 12 equal. We have a neutral chord, which is a different sound that is not in 12 equal. We have a super major chord and a sub minor chord. So we actually end up with 2 variations of major, 2 variations of minor, and a neutral sound. Now, you may notice that the augmented and diminished chords are not here. I'll be covering those in an advanced triad video. Because of 31 equal, the augmented chord is no longer symmetric. The diminished chord is no longer symmetric. There are lots of little variations and alterations you can do for the diminished and augmented chords, which means they kind of don't really belong in the basic triad sets anymore, even though they are really important. Let's go ahead and take a listen to these basic triads.
The thumbnails are good, I will say. Look. These are pretty crazy.
Just to get us started. So there are our basic triads. Let's go ahead and construct all of these so we can understand what they're made of. The first one that we're going to look at is the sus chord. This one's really basic and simple. It's just going to be a root, a perfect fourth above it, and the perfect fifth above that root. This will be EDO steps 0, 13, and 18. So for instance, our root would be 0. The 13th EDO step is 503 cents, which is a beautiful little slightly sharp perfect fourth. And then the 18th EDO step is our functional perfect fifth in this system. Since the fifth is a little bit flat in 31, that means the fourth is a little bit sharp. So this sus chord tends to have a very slow, gentle, almost imperceivable wobble and has a really clean and clear sound. Let's go ahead and construct the major triad now. The major triad we're just going to write as a simple root, 3, and 5. And this is quite easy. This is just going to be a 0, a 10, and an 18. If we look at what those end up being with our EDO steps, there's our root. The 10th EDO step is 387 cents. This is nearly a perfect 5-4 ratio. So this is almost a just major third. This is one of the major appeals about using 31. This fantastic approximation of 5-4 is one of the common features which draws people into 31. I would describe this major third as warm, as sweet, as very clean. Honestly, sometimes it's almost so consonant that it almost disappears in the sound, and that can be a bad thing. Like, it's almost too clean sometimes, but it's really amazing. It makes jazz and it makes gospel and blues feel so sweet and so full.
I'm not going to learn music theory in 10 minutes today, but I don't know. I'm kind of following, actually, right? I don't really know. Like, I know what the ratios kind of mean, but I'm not, like, I don't know it deeply.
Next, we have our basic minor chord. We're just going to go ahead and write this one like usual. Root, flat 3, and a fifth. Now, our EDO steps for this are going to be the 0th, 8th EDO step, and the 18th. If we go over here and we look at what the 8th EDO...
And yeah, the subdivisions make sense, right? Once you start to do the thing, for example, the 3 up, or the augmented third, or something like this, then yeah, it's like, if the third is 10 steps, the augmented is 11, right? This kind of thing, yeah.
step is, we can see that it's a minor third at 309, almost 310 cents. This is very close to the 6/5 ratio.
I don't exactly know what she means with the ratio, because I'm not sure, like, 309.67 over what? Over 440 or over 0 or 100? That's the thing I don't know.
And this minor third tends to sound very bright. To me, it almost feels like a majory minor third. If
Six over 5, boom, 1.2. And 440 over 309.67, 1.42. No, then it's not that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I kinda get it. Okay, so the cent is a frequency thing. And it's logarithmic division. Okay, I get it. Okay, I don't know all of this though. $31 TET. 31 ETO. $12 TT, that's the regular one. Okay, I don't know what this is. Interesting. I couldn't tell you, my music theory never went that far. Yeah, mine either. I know music theory in the regular system, right? In 12 TET. I don't know the other ones. That's the problem. But because I do know the regular one, right? Like learning what the other one is probably easier than if I didn't know it, right? That's my point. That's my angle. I'm trying to find my angle. But how can I be helpful, right? Because I don't know. Like these people probably, like she, for example, knows like bachelor in producing, masters in choral. She probably knows something about microtonal music or whatever the fuck, right? Or they, for example, they voice pedagogy, voice center. Okay, but they are probably more in the voice thing. I don't know. Budget. Yeah, let's say budget. Andy, I don't know. I've talked about this enough already. Okay, let's talk about pricing, for example. Pricing. I've seen two things, right? So whole project is like project pricing, right? Project pricing, then like salary, aka like time commitment, right? So like consistent time commitment, and yeah, you could say something like freelance, maybe, right? Freelance per hour, right? Per hour type shit. Well, let's group them actually. Sorry. Yeah, freelance there's like per hour or project pricing. Each one has the disadvantages, right? For example, per hour. I mean, I can talk about the per hour amount that I had. Yeah, basically, okay, let's practice what I would say. Per hour, I'm not sure how much I earn. I can look it up. Control O. Bueno, control mayus F. Max. Maybe literally pricing. Pero where do I have it? Must have it somewhere. Okay, maybe on Discord. Okay, I'm just going to be transparent. This was what I learned. Whoa. Nice headphones. They are Sennheiser HD 160, I think. No, 560s. Yeah, but I didn't like this, right? Didn't like because finished doesn't make sense, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to earn by finished minute, in my opinion, right? Unless it's, I don't know, very clear or something for some reason. But per hour is also hard, right? Because it's literally just like most of the per hour job is literally just watching video, right? So it was to feel less guilty, right? But yeah, aside from that, I don't know. Like, I would like to see what she thinks about it, right? She also pays editors, so I don't know. I want to see her thoughts on it. I just want, like, I can say this and whatever, right? Like, I don't have any expectation. Like, I don't give a shit. Actually, I don't really give a shit about money at this point, right? It's like there are several scenarios, right? In my head, like fantasy, right? Fantasy, like equilibrium, like balance, and like probably unsatisfaction and whatever, right? And satisfactory result that I will still take it. I don't know, like maybe it doesn't make sense to say I will take everything, but I don't know. I think it makes sense to say I will take it even if I am unsatisfied, right? There are several scenarios like purely selfish, right? Purely selfish. Yeah, like the scenarios in my head about pricing are not based on actual like market situations. These are just based on on like what I feel about money, right? She will also have thought about the thing. Yeah, she will have thought of it. I think I have I read it? I feel like I'm going crazy. Yeah, I think I've read it, but I will read it again. She will have also thought about the price in the end, so you will probably come to a conclusion in the conversation. Yes, that is true. Yeah, but I want to think. Yeah, she will have already thought of it, but I hadn't. That is the thing. I hadn't thought of it. Well, I have thought of it, but hadn't thought of it. So yeah, I want to at least think of it in the page. I think I was thinking in my head, right, about these scenarios, right? Because, for example, last year I made 500 euros. Last year, right? The whole year. So, it's like, I don't know, like, if I make more than 500 euros per year, I will take it. Because it's more than I made last year. But it still will be unsatisfactory up until a certain point, right? I don't know, I think it makes sense. And the thing is, yeah, I think in a purely selfish way, right? Like, in a purely selfish way, like, does it make sense to think that a single contract for editing for just one person will be blah, blah, blah? I don't know. I don't give a fuck. That's the way I think about it. And I was thinking in the amounts, right? Yeah, because I don't want to write the word balance and okay, let's do calculations. Autónomo Madrid calculadora. Mensual. Hostias. Bro, how does that make sense? How does this make sense? Make it make sense. How is someone who makes 1,500 a month and spends 1,000 paying 230 in the self-employed tax? Make it make sense. How are you paying like 50? If you make 500, I don't know. I don't get it. See, it doesn't make any sense. I can only see half the screen. Oh, okay. Okay, net. It's revenue minus expenses. Okay, that makes sense, right? So I don't get it. What? Bro, I don't understand anything. 400 times 12. $400 times 12, 4,800. See, this makes zero sense. If you make 400 per month, you have to pay 300, and you have to pay 300, you ain't earned zero. And if you spend, let's say, whatever, 1,000, if you make this, it's ridiculous. Per month, 16 euros. I don't know. It's insane. I don't know. Insane. I don't get these numbers. How can you? I don't know. I don't get the numbers in Spain. They are ridiculous. If you are making less than 670 euros per month, how are you going to pay 230 euros per month? Insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to end it today. Well, right now. And wish me luck. I will report back tomorrow on what happened. And yeah. That was it for today. Boring stream today because I don't have a lot. I don't know. I didn't end up talking about the thing. But yeah.